coming in is also blessed. Okay, so welcome to our today's video. I hope that you'll enjoy it. I hope that I hope that we'll grow together. Therefore, as the title is, today we are learning about how to cope with heartbreak. Yeah, have you ever been heartbroken? Have you ever experienced an heartbreak once? Okay, therefore today I want us to share it. The people who have ever underwent through heartbreak and people who have ever experienced such. Remember, when you are talking about heartbreak, it is always good to understand that this is a profound form of grief, and it can do what it can manifest with both physiological and mental symptoms, including sleep disturbances, including immune malfunctions, okay, digestive issues, and again, body aches, depressions, anxiety, and it can also go with an heartbreak syndrome. Is that okay? Yeah, and why do people really experience an heartbreak after a relationship? Like, for example, because that is the question we can begin to ask ourselves, okay? Because sometimes when your mind is connected to something, it is waxed to it in a way that you can't let it go. Okay, why does that happen? Number one, you must begin to understand that the brain's reward, it is centers on the previously stimulated, of course, stimuli, or by dopamine during the so-called love in phrase. Yeah, remember the phrase of love remains active in the mind. It remains in your mind. So your heart is always connected to such experience. It is always connected to what you experienced before. Therefore, the good moments, the good memories that you shared before, they remain. Okay? Yeah, that is why now, after now, you've been someone maybe has left you after you've broken up, your heart can be broken. Because to cope up with a new environment, new lifestyle, new personality, new identity, it is not easy. Okay, because such memories remain. Therefore, always once the mind is diverted, once you've been changed from the experience that you used to have before, sometimes it might be very hard for the mind to cope up. Okay, yeah, therefore this can lead to a feeling of confusion and again a loss of identity. Okay, and as the individual often form a new couple identity. Remember, there is the lifestyle that you used to have before, but there is this one. There are these people that you used to be with. There are people that you are living with. There are people that you are sharing your life with, but now all pleasures are gone. Therefore, your mind remains in tuned in such an experience is what forms a great heartbreak. Therefore, now, how do you cope up with it? Remember that this comes with different characteristics, lifestyle characteristics. So, number one, we must begin to understand ourselves. That is one thing. So, number one, you must allow yourself to grieve. Okay, you must undergo through a period of grief, because if you don't acknowledge and express your emotions, like sadness, like anger, like confusion, without judging yourself, at the end of the day you may end up not forgiving yourself. Okay, yeah, so acknowledge and express your emotions. That is one thing, like sadness, like anger and confusion, without judging yourself. That is it. And remember, suppressing those feelings can prolong the healing process. After an heartbreak, what follows? Now an healing process. Even the Bible, of course, we know that redemption began after Eve ate the tree. Therefore, healing begins after an heartbreak. A wise person will know that. Number two, we must practice self-compassion. Yeah, be kind to yourself. You must accept. Remember, the reason as to why people get depressed in an heartbreak is because they don't love themselves. Some think that the reason as to why this heartbreak happened is because of me. I am the cause, maybe. Okay, some begin asking or judging themselves negatively, saying, oh, maybe I'm not Lord, I'm not as beautiful, I'm not handsome, or I'm not meeting certain requirements that a person should fulfill in a relationship. Therefore, that should not affect you in any way. Number one, be kind to yourself, be gentle with yourself, avoiding any self blame. By all means, for you to cope, you must make sure that you avoid self blame. Yeah, do not blame yourself enough that breakups are often beyond individual control. There are breakups that you as a person you can't control. It's a reality. It is a thing that is beyond you. Because sometimes when people are engaged in a relationship, when they are sharing sweet moments, there's a way that relationship appears that these people think that we will never depart. Yeah, the memories you share, you may think that life might never change. Yeah, of course, sometimes we may over expect a relationship, and that can lead to frustration. Remember, if you over expectation leads to frustrations, and that is what can lead to depression. So, guys, avoid or by all means make sure that you practice self compassion. Love yourself enough. Yeah, support yourself enough, either directly or indirectly. Number three, you must take care of your physical health. There are people that once they are heartbroken, the appetite gets lost. They don't get sleep again. Okay, so you must practice and take care of your physical health. Like, for example, make sure that you maintain a balanced diet. That is why some people, after an heartbreak, they can grow thinner. Yeah, either they can grow thinner. Yeah, some people get, of course, they forget food. Okay, and when we're talking about this, of course, you must ensure that you sleep well. You must ensure that you have sufficient sleep, enough physical activities, and of course, physical activities can boost mood and support your emotional healing. When you're in the field with your people or with practicing either alone, you give your mind time to think. Yeah. You give your mind time to think, to reason, to change. Okay. So always when you're experiencing such, make sure that you don't suppress yourself. Go outside. Don't lock yourself in one place. Once you've been heartbroken, go to the field, run, joke around, let your mind experience some fresh air. Okay. Yeah. And again, practicing also can take you out, can take you away from such things, such imaginations. Is that okay? Yeah. Again, practice helps your mind forget such an experience. If of course the experience broke you in a way that your mood changed, mood swings. Yeah, when you are practicing, your mind will exercise a break, and you'll be able to forget. Therefore, taking care of your physical health is very important after an heartbreak. But above all, remember self-love. But we shall talk about self-love. Therefore, we can also talk about something like creating a new routine. Remember, in a relationship, there's a lifestyle that you adopt. This time that you create for your partner or your friend. Of course, there is this moment that you share. Yeah, these people are in tuned in relationship. They call it dating. Some of them they call it, of course, courtship, outings. Yeah, take me for an out. So every time when this is happening, you are taking a person out. It is a routine that you are creating. Is that okay? Therefore, now that you've departed, the relationship is broken. Okay, you can adopt a new routine. That at this time we used to be chatting, we used to be sharing 1, 2, 3 things. Now develop yours, develop your own. Yeah, that is the best thing. That is the best way that you can cope up. Yeah, practice self-independence. That the things we could do together, try if you can do it alone. Okay, so when you're talking about creating self-esteem, of course, establish structures and stability by setting small daily goals. Daily goals. Okay, and in this case, when you're talking about daily goals, and of course, reintroduce enjoyable activities. Enjoyable activities, or you can also explore new hobbies. Explore new hobbies, something that can replace the joy that this person used to give you. Okay, remember, by all means, your heart must be comfortable and that joy. Exercise that. What else? Because your partner can be your refuge, your comforter when, of course, you are heartbroken, as in when you are down. Yeah, I know that when people in a relationship, during your sad moment, you could share and these people could rise and come up for you. Therefore, now you've departed. What are you going to do? You must develop another hobby, that now I am heartbroken. What else? What can comfort me? Some people take the word of God and they start reading. Of course, that is very okay and very helpful. Others advocate reading the Bible and praying, going for practice, practicing singing. Yeah, but by all means, you must make sure that everything that you are taking outside a broken heart is solve this problem in a Christian way. If you are not a Christian, make sure that by all means you don't use anything that can disadvantage you, but all things must bring an advantage to you. Is that okay? Yeah, of course there's power shortage, but this should not limit us. So let's just continue in the name of Jesus Christ. It is well. Thank you. Now, by all means, I've said that you should develop self or justification. That is one thing. Adopt new hobbies, something that can comfort you at this time when you are alone. Okay. Now, number three. Make sure that by all means you avoid isolation. Avoid isolation and seek support. Avoid isolation and seek support. That is very, 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 very important. Every time when you are down, make sure that you avoid isolation. When you isolate yourself, you can make very dumb and ill decisions. Because, number one, single mind cannot make a strong decision. Some people commit suicide, or they take very dumb and ill decision after an heartbreak because of isolating themselves, because of not seeking support. Because some people judge themselves and they say that my issue is too big for someone else to solve. Remember, a wise man said, problem shared is halfway solved. Just try it. Find an entrusted person. Connect with the trusted friends or family, or receive external validation. This is very important. External validation. And when you're receiving external validation, this can reduce stress and aid to healing. Remember this, that what you are going through today, it can be something that someone else overcame yesterday. That is why it is important. There are people shared by very mature experiences. There are people who went through what you are going through. There are people who experienced such downfall more than 10 times, but they came out of it victorious. Therefore, sharing is also caring. Okay? And again, when you share what you've experienced and what you've been going through, you also give the person you are sharing with an opportunity to grow. Because some of the people in this world, they think that there are certain experiences in life that it is a story or illusions. Therefore, when you share it out, some people know, wow, so such is experienced. And if these people cannot solve the problem, of course, they can refer you to an authority or a superior person who can help you copy it or solve it out. But by all means, you must never at any given time keep it for yourself. Keeping it for yourself is very dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous. Number 6, practice mindfulness and meditation. Yeah, of course, this is very funny, but you must make sure that you engage in techniques like deep breathing, okay, and of course, journalizing to reduce anxiety, promote self-awareness, and find inner peace. Let me tell you something. The beauty of this life depends on your ability to generate your inner peace. And you must rise to a standard whereby you know that nobody in this world is worth your peace. Nobody is worth you. Nobody is worth your life. Therefore, never think of taking your life because of a person. No. Generate inner peace. Ability to generate your inner peace alone. That no matter how sad the breakup was, no matter how much time you wasted with that person, by all means, you must practice inner peace. You must practice inner peace. That one is very important. That one is very basic. That one is very, very, very important. Inner peace. Inner peace. Mindful techniques and meditation. Meditate, but make sure that your meditation is positive meditations. Yeah, of course, I have an experience whereby when you are talking before multitudes, some people say breathe in, breathe out. Yeah, breathing in reduces anxiety. Okay, it reduces tension. Breathe in, deep breath in and out. It reduces anxiety. Number 7 is very beautiful. Set health boundaries. Set health boundaries. Limit contact with that ex-partner and follow them on social media and prioritize personal space to heal. Remember, you can never leave someone who is still in your heart. You can never leave someone who you are still living with. Every time when you've been heartbroken and you are seeing that person, you are living with that person, you can never heal. Because every time when you see that person, memories of your experiences will always be awakened. The wound will rise again. Therefore, make sure that you set healthy boundaries, like deleting that ex-partner, their conduct. Make sure that you unfollow them on social media, because every time when you follow them, you'll be tempted. Okay? You not know where moods will come from, but such will come again. The wound will come again. It is very important. Delete them. Change. Remember, any environment that once caused you pain, if you want to change it, and this thing, I can also combine it with people who want to overcome sexual sin in a relationship. You must, for a moment and a long period of time, like 6 months, avoid contact. If you're in a relationship and you want to overcome sexual sin, you must make sure that with that friend of yours, either boyfriend or girlfriend, you must make sure that you isolate yourself for a space. Give yourself time, because if you meet time and again, you do it. But if you isolate yourself for a month, for 2 months, or even for 3 months, the experience will be gone. And when you meet again, you will have a new mindset, reformed time. It is called the principle of time out. The principle of time out. which is very important and which is very, very basic. Yeah, so if you want to heal, delete them, change their conduct, change everything, okay, about them. Make sure that you don't hear from them again, because anytime when you hear them, it will arise, it will awaken them. You'll be awoken, and such wood or the healing period will be prolonged, will be prolonged. Remember that our greatest desire is to see how you can heal fast, because by all means you don't need to prolong your depression period. Remember, prolonged depression leads, as in prolonged stress leads to depression, and depression is very dangerous. And number 8, you must start rediscover yourself and pursue your interests. Rediscover yourself again and again and again, and pursue your interest. When you've been broken up, there are things that you're supposed to begin to ask yourselves. What am I good at? What is it that I can do? What am I best at? Reconnect with the passions and hobbies that may have been neglected. Remember, during relationships, of course, I remember someone said that love is blind, okay? Yeah, and there are different, of course, passions and hobbies. Yeah, because I know that when people in a relationship, you leave certain passions in order to fit in the or to suit this the other person. Okay, you leave some of your hobbies, you leave them in order to be with this person. Some people do that. So in an instance of a breakup, rediscover yourself again. Now start connecting with your passions, the things that you treasure and love very much, your hobbies, and the things that you may have neglected during the relationship, in order for you to rebuild a sense of self-purpose, okay? In order to build a sense of self and purpose. Remember that every time, once you are not with this person again, you must now rediscover yourself. Remember the passions that you used to have towards certain activities that were health, that were causing you grow in your singlehood before the relationship. Okay, and this will give you a sense of purpose, self-reliance, self-resilience, okay, and patience as well. Yeah, another thing is that you must start focusing on personal growth. This is the most important aspect of any breakup, no matter which level it was. Focus on personal growth. Personal growth. If you ever forget yourself, that will be the beginning of your destruction. Use the experience as an opportunity. Number 1, that breakup, what caused it, what triggered it, use it as a lesson. Use it as an opportunity to grow. Very important. Only use it as an opportunity to grow. As an opportunity to grow. This is very important. Learn from the past relationships, dynamics, and clarify future needs. Failure to learn creates another fall in the future. Through this relationship, through this experience, I have not grown. You've been deprived of an opportunity to grow yet again. Therefore, if you don't learn from this, remember, you must sit down, calculate the opportunities that you lost with the former relationship, the downfalls, the things that you over-sacrificed, because there are relationships that people over sacrifice. They give their whole heart, they give their resources, they give everything. And in the season of a breakup, these people get highly and so much frustrated in a way that depression must strike them. Okay, so sit down, learn from your past mistakes, because once you learn, it can act as a knowledge in the future. Remember, if you break up with one, people are not over. More are. Opportunities are always created. In as much as you're in this world, you are living, you are growing, new opportunities are created. New opportunities. In as much as you see you see the sunrise, a new day comes, new hope comes, new growth comes, new opportunity. Remember that the practice of failure is a practice of trial. If you try this and it fails, wait for another one. But in the second one, you're supposed to be more wise. If the breakup was caused by betrayal, now you learn how to keep your mouth shut when it comes to matters of discussing your secrets. When it comes to matters of discussing the things that matter to you. Okay? That is how we grow. That is how we become. Another thing, be patient with the healing process. The reason as to why some of us are frustrated is because you never thought that such can happen. Recognize that the healing process takes time. To heal, it will take time. And it is not linear. Embrace the ups and the downs and celebrate the small step forward. Okay? Every time, set small goals, ones that you can achieve. See what you couldn't do yesterday, but today you can do. Okay? Yeah, of course, I'm seeing someone telling me that you can play Roblox. It's okay. But by all means, you can also play games. But make sure that by all means, your mind is active. You are sensitive. Is that okay? Make sure that your mind is not idle at all. Be patient. Patience. Patience. That is the most important thing. But above all, make sure that how you want to solve your problem or any relationship heartbreak issues. Number one, follow the Christian path if you're a believer. I know there are different ways, but listen. Every time you've been broken up, you must look for an activity to replace the experience you had before. Do not fall in love when you don't know the laws that govern relationships. Don't indulge into it. It is wait until you mature. Some people break it because of insecurities. Of course, you must understand, a person who is always insecure, that is a person who is not ready for a relationship. Let it go. Wait it until another day, until when you are mature enough to cope with number one, today's level of lifestyle. Okay. And again, exercise maturity in relationship. Remember, some relationships graduate to marriage, but not all that graduate to marriage. Because of course, my understanding to marriage is that now you enter arrest. Okay? Yeah, that this is a matured relationship. That people have so learned and understood each other in a way that now you can settle. Settling, that is what I'm calling arrest. Arrest. That now you can be together. My problem, when you are coming to my life, you are coming to meet me. I am a strength, and you are also, no, I am a weakness, and you're also a weakness. And we've accepted each other's weaknesses. But when we combine them, we become a strength. That is what we call coupleship. You are coupled together. But make sure that you learn from different experiences. The problem that this generation has, and we have very many relationship breakups, heartbreaks, and ill consequences of such, is because men don't understand the laws that govern relationship, the laws that govern lovemaking. Listen by experiences, learn from scars, listen to men, learn from them, learn from their experiences, and that can bring growth. Okay, it can bring growth. Do not be in a relationship that it's a childlike. It's like you are playing hide and seek behavior. No, relationship requires maturity. It requires laws. There must be laws that govern such. Okay, number one, maturity in emotions or emotional and feelings control. You must be able to control how you talk, as in your culture as well. And again, you must also be mature enough not to over sacrifice, not to over expect in the wrong partner. When you are driven by the flesh, desires of the flesh, the physical outlook of what you are seeing, you'll be frustrated. Because sometimes beauty cannot characterize behavior. Character is very important. Therefore, you must learn before you give your heart. Learn this person first. Learn his temperaments. When this person is angry, how does he behave? There are people who become animals. When they get angry, they can slaughter you. Be very careful. The reason as to why we have ill consequences of relationship breakups is because these people don't learn each other. Today we've met, tomorrow I take you for a date. That is why we have different people who are being slaughtered, others amputated, thrown from the highest floor of a building, of a tower, just because you did not know the person. Take time to learn. Relationships are built through patience, resilience, and a lot of humility. Nobody is worth you. Know that. Develop a sense of self-worth, self-humor, if you want to be in a healthy relationship. Know your value, know your worth before you meet this person, before you give yourself to that person. Ask yourself, and this goes to both genders, because men are also suffering in relationships. Ask, is this person really worth me? Can this person and I walk together? Even Amos asked, can two walk together unless they agree? You cannot walk together with a person not unless you agree. You must reach a point whereby you've agreed, accepted to walk together. Okay? Do not be with a person that you can't bring joy to them. There are people that it is so hard to please. There are people who are so judgmental in a way that you don't know which path to cross, which path to please them. You don't know. Therefore, this is the thing. For you to find growth, for you to find meaning in a relationship, be with a person that, of course, you can make fun with, people that you can celebrate, you can laugh with. If you can't understand the person, then don't be with that person. Okay? If this person, when you are thinking about going to the west, is thinking going to the east, don't be with that person. If you can't agree, you can't be compatible. Let me tell you the truth. The flesh, body shape, of course, beauty can deceive us, but you'll be building your own grave if you'll ever judge relationships by what you see. That is why we are having such. Every relationship, build it in a spiritual perspective. Listen, there are people who enter into a relationship to satisfy their sexual desires. That in as much as I can have sex with you, I can be with you. Let me tell you something. If for you to be with a person it takes sex, or if your relationship is that justified by sexual sin, it will take another sex to break it. True. Think about it and send your comment down there. You're free. Okay? Therefore, it is very important. It is very important. It is very, 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 very important to think before you give. Judge any word that this person speaks. It must rest in a judgmental conscience. Even jokes, how these people joke. Some people joke, but you might think that some people are joking, but you'll find that they are serious. Therefore, it is also very important to view, is this person really serious? Do they really mean what I am saying? The jokes portrayed by some people, you can't just take them for granted. It is very important to ensure that how these people are joking, just take keen interest. Do not take them with intensity, but judge it. Is there some sense in it? Remember, a huge fire begins with just a spark of light. Okay? Yes, so be careful on how you are joking, but above all, be with a person that he or she is a source of joy to you, and you also are a source of joy to them. If you ever doubt them, if you ever judge negatively, if you ever have a feeling of insecurity, first of all, sit down. Before you enter a marriage, listen. Marriage is like a court. Marriage is like a prison. You can't come back. And of course, it's very, very dangerous when you are now filing in for a divorce and you made the wrong decision. It is better you think early before the mistake happens. Why the divorce? And right now, we are, as in this time, the courtship season, know each other very well. Learn about someone's ups and downs. Press judgment. Do not rush. Remember, I've said that the reason as to why some of us are frustrated is because we lack time. Of course, we really lack it. Of course, we can't let this person go. When a person comes into our lives and they are not the people that we wanted, through genuine judgment, of course, you can let them go. God will always bring the right people to us. But I've told you, it is very dangerous to judge someone because of physical, social status, of course, energetic, or any resemblance, by all means, that is related by the flesh. Yeah, make sure that you understand the character and all things. But above all, this is very important. And my understanding, not unless you think otherwise, the person must fear God. If they can't fear God, they don't deserve you. Well, it is not wrong when a person comes to you and they don't know God. It's okay, but this person must be ready to change. Don't enter into a marriage with an unbeliever. This courtship period should be the period that you change that person. If they can't accept Christ, leave them. Walk away. Okay? Yeah, change them in that period to avoid future fall. Remember, we build today so that tomorrow we can settle. And let me tell you this, that your accuracy today is your accuracy today depends on how faithful you are yesterday. It depends on how accurate you are yesterday. That is very important. Very, very important. Very important. Your accuracy today depends on how faithful you are yesterday. You must be careful and keen today so that tomorrow you'll experience an uplift. Of course, you rejoice the experience. You love it. You just like it. Okay? Never forget that growth and good things are not established in one day. Firm relationship is not built in one day. It must take time. It must take time. Take time to build it. Take time to study it. Build the foundation. Let the line follow. That is the most important thing in a relationship. Build the foundation. Set standards. Let them know, these are my weaknesses. Are you able to stand by them? I know there are these people who have children and they want to enter into a relationship. Tell them before marriage. Don't wait until now you've married. That is when your partner will know that you have a child. No, tell them early. Will you accept me with my child? If they cannot, walk away. You meet a person who is willing and more than willing to love you, your daughter or your son, and you move forward and lead a joyous life. Again, with your family as well. Remember, there are different relationships that bring chaos, family disunity. Okay? Just because you married a person that you did not understand. If this person have a sense of humor, let them know that you have a family. If they are willing to love them, if your mother is chaotic, let them know as well. Okay? So that now you know how to behave. Therefore, guys, that is the most important thing that I think that we as a generation we need. What caused me and pushed me to share this is because I'm seeing today's downfalls of men, very important destinies being aborted, men with a lot of ambitiousness, letting it go, dreams being killed because of fake relationships, because of frustrations. Therefore, kindly make sure that by all means you touch on a heart. Let people know. Let them learn. Is that okay? Yeah, spread the gospel. If you meet an heartbroken person, don't fail to share. Don't feel frustrated. Don't feel too little to help. Just help. If you can't help, find someone who can help. But by all means, make sure that you help. That is how we fulfill purpose. Therefore, guys, if you find my content helpful, remember to subscribe, remember to like, remember to share so that you can also support my ministry. Yeah, because I'm also growing. Let's grow together. Let's find growth together. Meanwhile, may the Lord God help you and may He also lead you.